All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Agile Hive, Simplifying Safe in Jira. My name is Colin Helke. I'm joined by my moderator, Peter Weingartner. We are both consultants from Siebert Media, an Atlassian Platinum partner based primarily in Germany. Peter's in Germany. I'm in the US, so we cover a lot of different time zones between the two of us. Today, I'll give you some highlights on Agile Hive. What is it? What problems can it solve? Hopefully get you interested, asking questions, and you can join our booth, get maybe a little longer demo. Before I start, I'd like to thank our hosts from Trundl. They are one of our partners that can help with Agile Hive as well. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us, or you can always reach out to Trundl for any help. And then two links I'd like to point out too. The Siebert.biz/Agile Hive Live, Agile Hive demo. You can go to that link and schedule a meeting with us at any time. It's quite useful if you want to pull in colleagues that might not be attending this this conference or want to schedule maybe like a 2-hour demo where you can get a really long deep dive into the product, because we know Safe and Jira can get kind of complex, which we'll cover. And then agile-hive.com. Obviously, more information. Any questions you may have can be answered there. So let's jump in. There we go. Describing our initial situation that a lot of our customers face. Product development is complex. Probably most of you, if you're at the JiraCon conference here, going to be using Jira. So it's a trusted tool. Scaling is even more complex. Safe is a successful framework for scaling development. Like we said, Safe is awfully complex. Why not put Safe in Jira? That obviously gets even more complex, is what we'd say. A couple challenges with Safe in Jira that Agile Hive addresses. Missing hierarchical layers. You can split your projects up, but you don't get that layering that Safe calls for. Missing artifacts, different nomenclature. You'll go to Safe training, things will be called a certain way. You get back to your own Jira instance, things are called differently. It gets a little bit confusing. The Agile Hive, you can fix some of those issues. Missing PI cadence, missing way to shortest job first, visualization of dependencies and your safe boards. And to fix those problems, you would need an extensive configuration. So you'd almost need your own team to work on fixing those kind of missing things within Jira. Then kind of the last bit that's really nice to have is the missing documentation. You have all this information about development within Jira. How can you get some of that information out into, say, Confluence, where it's easier for non-technical people to read, for maybe higher up management to read, because they're not familiar with looking through maybe hundreds of Jira comments on the portfolio epic that could be going for a couple of years. So those are a couple of the problems and challenges that we will kind of cover in this short demo here. So at your solution, Agile Hive. Agile Hive simplifies the execution and implementation of Safe in your organization. It is just a Jira app that you can buy from the marketplace and install, and you are using Jira. So as we go to the next slide here, app for Jira software. We're only available in server and data center right now. Right now, cloud is scheduled to come later 2022. But even if you're on cloud and you're still interested in the solution like Agile Hive, please stop by our booth. Let us know. It always is nice to know the demand of of cloud. So then I can take that back to our product manager, and we can evaluate our priority on cloud development. Agile Hive is really has been developed from the bottom up. So right now our strengths are essential safe, but you can use every configuration of safe that you want, but really where our strengths are on the program and team levels. So that's where we started, and we are expanding that through the next couple of months. We'll start getting more ability on the higher levels. As I kind of mentioned before, it's an app in Jira. It's easy to install. It's the configuration is minimal, and then the training is very easy because you're just using Jira. You just get a couple of almost visualization features that make it easier to see maybe your dependencies or how you're planning your PIs. And then I did mention kind of at the start, we have partners around the world that are trained with Agile Hive, Trundl being one of those partners. So if you can reach out to us, we can refer you to Trundl or another partner wherever you are in the world, and we can help you through your evaluation. We can give you your own instance through our Swift sites, where you can get 30-day free trial of a Agile Hive instance. And so let's jump into a live demo then. So I'll go through a bunch of features, kind of just touching on them. We only have 45 minutes here. I planned about 35 for the demo, 10 for questions. A product like Agile Hive and really Jira Align, those they take a long time to kind of explain every feature. So if you have more questions, we do have a breakout session after this, as well as that link Peter has been sharing. You can schedule a longer demo with us or visit our booth after this. So kind of the only configuration, or the major configuration that you need to have with Agile Hive comes on the back end, called project hierarchies. So I mentioned one of the issues in Jira is not having that hierarchy in your different layers. So here you can create your different safe layers. So portfolio, large solution, program, team. I can't remove any of these layers because they already have projects assigned to them. But first you would configure your layers. Then you would create projects for each team, art, large solution, portfolio, layer that you have. So each one of these boxes represents a different project. So you can see here, these green boxes all represent a team. So you might be working in your art, and all your teams might be working in one project in Jira right now. With Agile Hive, you split that up, and you'll see why, as we go to the team reports and the art level reports, split that up. So each team works on their own stories and can add features to their own project. Everyone is separate, and we'll jump into that right after I'm done explaining this. And what this also does, it allows us to aggregate all of the data from these team level stories. So all of the, say, story points can be aggregated up to the program level, and then all of the program level arts can go up to the large solution, and all of our reporting dashboards can be can have all the data from underneath it. Let's jump into so once you create the hierarchy, you get this nice drop down for all of your Agile Hive projects. So any project on the hierarchies now show up on this drop down. So I can go through our demo data ones and go to 2D artists. So 2D artists has their homepage, and you can see, I want to point out again, we're just in Jira. It's another tab on the Jira sidebar, and it's now the homepage. So whenever you go to this project, that will be the page, but you still have, access to any tabs over here, whether that's, a different product like structure or really a reporting one. You can still access all that data, although all those apps can still be accessed here. Just you have another tab that's Agile Hive reporting. Going over our team report here. First box is team members. We added this to give you a little personalization to the team. So if I'm visiting this team, I can see, what roles people have, who's on this team, and put a face to the issues that they are completing in this project. A couple simple reports on the PI progress here: velocity, story points per in days past, business value, load versus cap. Kind of simple story points based reporting. And then let me jump to PI3. So I'm on the current PI now. You can see in the middle here the different sprints you have for PI3, what features are involved, and then what stories are assigned to that team, all adding up to how many story points each user story has, how many are planned, how many are done. And you can see we're in progress here with this progress bar. Got 13 done out of 22 with 2 different features, with having 6 different stories. And we can kind of get a feature or a future look into what features are planned, as well as you saw before, we can jump into, say, PI2, look into the past at what was done, jump into PI4, look what's happening in the future. Back to PI3. Down below here, you can see team PI objectives with their planned and actual business values, and the team risks with their status exposure and residual exposure. Once again, pointing out we're within Jira here. So how do I create an objective? I would click create, select objective, and then I can create that objective. It's a regular Jira issue, and it will show up on the team PI objectives. So that's the team level. We'll jump up to the program level, where it takes all of the teams within that art and kind of aggregates their data up. Looks very similar to the team level. We have our art members here, as well as kind of the same statistics here, but with aggregated data from all of the teams. Since our next layer is large solution, we show capabilities here with all of the features that are planned in this art. And then there's associated story points. So we can see, here we have planned 26, open 26, 0 done. And we can see team animation has those 26 story points planned, and they haven't completed any of them yet. So you can go and look at every team that's within this art, see what they have planned, what percentage they are at. If as RT, you can look at this, maybe go talk to the team or whoever to figure out what's going on with their different features throughout the progress of this increment. As we scroll down, kind of the same thing, but on the art level with objectives. So you can get your art objectives here, your art risks, and then you can also look at all of the team objectives. So we were on 2D artists before. We can see those same objectives showing up down here. I do believe we're also adding the same feature for risks as well. So you could look at all of the risks for each team down here. All right. Jumping into kind of the PI planning aspect of Agile Hive. Creating a PI is done on the program level. And then when you create a PI, it gets passed down to every team. So you only have to create it on the program level. So I click create PI. Let's be creative, do test PI. Select our entire duration. So we can select out here. And then how many iterations we are going to do. It gives us all of our iterations. Then we can select what dates we want each iteration to be. So, we can work around maybe holidays, or maybe the company's taking a week off or something like that. You can plan your iterations, around what's happening in your company. So that. So fill that out, hit confirm. You then have all of your PIs listed here in the upper right. You go down to the team level. All of those same dates are applied on the team level. So every team in an art is synced on how their PI is set up. Jumping into, speaking of PIs, jumping into the team breakout boards, how to plan issues and features for it on the team level. Let's jump in. We're on PI4, so we're in the future here. You can see there are some plans. When you start out, there wouldn't be any plans. So you could go into the art level on the unplanned issues kind of backlog. They are ordered by latest shortest job first. So you can see those values here. I can drag this feature onto my team to the artist. And now I can start planning issues. Here's our team backlog. I can drag an issue onto the PI. I'll drag it over here. Or I can click add and it will create, and then I can create my user story from there. So, once again, you're within Jira, you're just kind of visualizing it in a different way. When I drag an issue or create an issue within the PI, it will fill out some fields for us. So we have what sprint it's in, what increment it's in, as well as it's linking to the features. So the child of, parent of relationship is set once you drag that issue onto this board. If I were to change this to iteration 3, or sprint 3, sorry, you can see sprint, it changes to sprint 3 here. If I were to change to a different feature, it would change the link. So, it's using fields within Jira, but it's an easier kind of drag and drop way to visualize your PI planning within Jira itself. Kind of the next thing we'd like to talk about is dependencies. So we have 3 types of dependencies: healthy, at risk, and critical. Those can be visualized on this board as well. If I open up another team, so as I go down, I can see every team within our program, and I can view what they have planned. I can't interact, I can't move their stories around, but I can see them. And you can see these yellow and green lines here. These represent Jira links. So if I open up this Art 2D 101, we can see that it requires Art 3D 125. So if we follow this line down, Art 3D 125 is planned here. Maybe there's going to be a conflict. They're in the same iteration. Maybe there isn't a conflict. We could plan this story at a later date. The line turns green. If this story was planned before it's required issue, the line turns red. So you can this is a nice way to visualize your planning and your dependencies. I move that one over there. Line is green. You can work between the teams to figure out your plan. All right, and then jumping up to the program board, you can see here kind of a similar thing in terms of your features, as well as the links and where features are planned. I believe your features are planned. You could be working on your feature through multiple iterations, but it shows up in the last iteration that you have, like a team has it planned in iteration 4. That's where the feature will show up. And so to kind of visualize that, we're working on program roadmaps currently as a way to see your features being developed across multiple PIs. So here, right now we have it's kind of an MVP stage right now. And you can drag your features on and stretch them out to get different dates of how long you think that feature is going to go. We'll eventually add the ability to do milestones and versions, and kind of have this as your planning. It allows you to track feature delivery, evaluate different dependencies you'll have based on how long these features are going. That is all coming soon, and when I say soon, it's planned in our current PI. So and that ends in mid-November. So all of those features should be delivered by mid-November. And then kind of jumping up a level. So as I mentioned at the start, we go up to different levels. We don't have as much reporting as we have. I like to say that it's relatively clean at the portfolio level right now. So you can see our different portfolio epics. And their epic owners, way to short job first, their status, progress, and it takes all of the story points from the portfolio epic. So I know some people can estimate how much they spend per story point, or how much time they spend on a story point. So it can kind of give you an estimation. But our idea is once we get the program roadmaps done, we can keep that feature and move that up to the portfolio level as well. So that should be in the next PI, once we get it developed for the program level, we'll be kind of moving that roadmap feature to every level for you. But one cool program that Agile Hive comes with is AutoPage, and we have the example at the portfolio level because it really fits in. But you can use it at any level, team level, program level. When you create a portfolio epic, so you have to set up a trigger. We set up when a portfolio epic is created, create this Confluence page using this Confluence template. So you can see this page was created and linked, and you can see all of our portfolio pages in here. But it pulls in this status, it pulls in the date, it pulls in the epic name, the way to shortest job first. So any fields that are available on this portfolio epic can be pulled into Confluence, and some of them, like status, will be kept up to date. So the status will change when it changes within Jira. So we in this example, we pull in all those fields, and then we can create our lean business case. We can fill out all these fields and make it easier to read for maybe management or non-Jira people that have a stake in what's going on, and it's way easier to read than going through all of these comments or trying to search through a bunch of Jira issues. So that kind of documentation aspect that we talked about earlier, can be solved with AutoPage. And like I said, it takes a Jira trigger. So creating this issue, closing a certain type of issue in this project, whatever you want to set it up for, you can create documentation basically on anything. So if you want to do like a review and you close a feature or something like that, you can set that up. And then, so that's the kind of quick and dirty overview of Agile Hive. I know I think Peter's been answering a lot of questions, so I'll see if we have any of those. But I wanted to talk on a couple of different I wouldn't say competitors, but similar software, because I know SAFe and software development is complex, and there are a bunch of different tools that do a lot of different things. We're also a Jira Align partner, so if you want to talk maybe the differences of Jira Align and Agile Hive, and when to use which one, definitely come to our booth. I know Peter's been trained in Jira Align right now. I have not, so he can talk to it a little bit more. But they're both great tools that can be used for different things, as well as other tools that are involved in the Atlassian marketplace, and structure and easy agile programs. They're all great tools, and we even use some of those tools when Agile Hive was starting out. We kind of combined all those tools into one jumble of kind of a mess of tools that equaled Agile Hive. Agile Hive is standalone right now, but we started using all of the great tools on that Atlassian marketplace. So before we get to questions, I just want to put out there again, cbrit.biz/Agile Hive demo. You can go there, depending on your time zone, or if you choose early in the morning or late at night, you might get Peter or I, but we're there, answer any questions, or if you want to invite 20 people to the meeting, we'll be more than happy to do a demo. Then agile-hive.com, that'll have the meeting link as well, but you can go over pricing, any documentation, quick facts, things like that are available on our website.
Colin,
yes.
Peter here. There is one question that I was just about to answer, but I think we can maybe answer that in person. Is there a predefined ticket hierarchy we must use, or is this flexible?
Are we talking about project hierarchies? Sorry, Peter.
A ticket hierarchy. So yeah, maybe you can refer to the project hierarchies and give a quick overview how the linkage works and how flexible that is as far as issue types and workflows.
Yeah. My password here. So I didn't really get to demonstrate it in terms of how flexible the hierarchies are, because we already have them set up. But you can add more layers to the bottom of your configuration. You can add layers to the top. You can rename these layers to be whatever you want them to be, and create that hierarchy. Currently, you can only have one hierarchy, but we're looking early or late this year, early next year, to having the ability to do multiple hierarchies. So if you have different configurations, you can customize those different portfolios to match whatever configuration you want. So we have it set up with 4 layers. You could set it up with 3 layers, with 5 layers. You can, if you want to do like portfolio epics on top, we could add that up there, and we could add another project in here. So another project. I don't have another project to add, but you could just add that. You could see it pop up there, and then you can link it. So it's as easy as creating your layers, clicking on each layer, and then saying, I want to add this project to this layer, then link it.
Maybe I can add to that, because there was a similar question, or a question relating to that. Agile Hive is for a safe, so Agile Hive looks very much at the 4 layers that you see, or less. So anything from essential safe to portfolio safe, or large solution safe, or full safe configuration works best. If you put any layer on top, just as Colin did, there's limited functionality. There's data aggregation, yeah, so you can have some sort of reporting up above, but most of the functionality is based on what safe configuration, or for the configurations that safe comes in. And for the ticket hierarchy, it's just important to know that all of these items, as there are projects, there is issues in these projects, and you can link any issue to one level up or multiple levels down. So any story or multiple stories can play into one feature. Each feature can play into multiple, or one capability. So there's 1 to n, 1 looking up, n looking down. And that's the way how you can link these issues. So that was also a question. There's no Jira epic involved. We're not interfering with the Jira epic, but we're not using it either.
That is a good point. That we don't use the Jira epic. Technically you can. It is a little special, and it has some, we'll say, quirks to it. But as you look at, say, we're on the program level, normally where you'd have your epic or features, we just have a normal issue type called feature, where you go into it. It has its own set of custom fields, its own feature workflow, for the program level, and so we're just using regular issue types, using the nomenclature from SAFe, and each layer we use, or we have templates for it. So I kind of skipped over this, but when you go to create project, we kind of hacked another section in here called Agile Hive. All of these are project templates that you can customize on the back end. So, if you want to if you have to break all your teams out from one project, create a team project template with all the workflows you use, all of, everything is customized to your Jira instance. And, start with these templates. And then when teams start creating their projects, you can have everyone with the same workflows, the same fields. Everything is synced up to what you want. It makes it a lot easier, because I know how messy Jira can get sometimes from an admin standpoint. Cool. All right. Are there any more questions, Peter? I don't see any.
Well, no, I was just answering Jerry, who said that it might be worthwhile to take a look at Candice, because they have great reporting. Thank you very much. I don't have to write that. I can say this. Thank you very much for that tip. I know that Jan, our product manager, is also very fond of Candice, especially as a reference, of course. So thank you.
Cool. Yeah, and just to mention again, let me go back one more slide. You visit us at our booth, cbrdepis/Agile Hive demo. You can schedule a demo outside of conference hours as well. But I'll be at the booth. I think it's a little late for Peter, so you might be jumping off, but I'll be there today and tomorrow. Answer any questions you have. We can do schedule a one-on-one meeting. We also have a PI planning breakout session in about 25 minutes. So if you want to jump on that, we can talk about PI planning or really any questions you have. If not, there are a bunch of different talks after ours. You can see those at the bottom. I can't recommend enough. All of the different talks here. I've been watching a couple. They're pretty great. Otherwise, yep, virtual booth. You can email me. My emails are in the middle there, chelke@cbrt-media.net. Or really the easiest way to schedule a meeting using the cbrt.biz link. Yeah, that was great. Yep. Oh,
there's another. Yeah, since we have a bit more time, there's another question that's very interesting. Thank you very much. We're talking about the difference between Jira Align and Hive, but what about advanced roadmaps? I mean, the differences between Jira Align and Agile Hive, there's so many that that it's would take a lot of time. But here's the other question: what's the difference to advanced roadmap, for example? Would you like to answer that?
Peter, that's your expertise.
I wish. No, but yeah, advanced roadmaps. First of all, the great news is if you're using cloud or a data center, it should be available without any further costs. So that's a big difference. Agile Hive does cost money compared. But other than that, I think advanced roadmaps is more built on top of the standard Jira structure with Jira issues and Jira epics. And I would sure say that it only focuses on a few things out of the safe context that you can cope with, and you can only go that far. So Agile Hive takes into focus the entire safe as an entirety, or at least that's what we're looking at. You can have any safe configuration covered by Agile Hive. Data is aggregated through all the levels, and it takes all the workflows that you count, all the issue types, everything is right there based on safe by the book or close to the book. While advanced roadmaps, I think, only fulfills a few things out of the safe context. I hope that answers your question well enough for now.
Peter, did you have Dan asked a question about dependencies, it looks like, I think. I can't see the question. I don't know if you can. Oh, yes, it's obvious.
Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe. Did you see the question, Colin?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I read it out
so,
loud for everyone. It appears dependencies are only visible for teams whose view is expanded. So you might miss a dependency if the team isn't expanded. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah. So you can see, let's go back to the team level here. And then the breakout board. So you can see those. You can see this dependencies mark down here. So we don't have the any of those dependencies down here at the bottom for any other team. Obviously 3D artists and animation have dependencies, but what was that? You get this little red box with the number of dependencies that aren't healthy. So that's kind of the way you can you get that visualization.
And when you collapse the teams underneath, you'll see that there's you can identify incoming or outgoing dependencies by this little color marker on the side of each of the cards. So they will stay even though the lines will disappear when you collapse.
So if I collapse them, you can see the yellow dependency or yellow marks here versus the green. So there are kind of two ways that, warn you a little bit. Obviously, it'll be, if we move this one over, it'll be red. And you can see that red mark here to give you the critical dependency versus the at risk and healthy. Hope that answers the questions. I know we only have 5 minutes. So if anyone has any other questions, get them in now, or maybe we'll end a couple minutes early, and then you'll just have to visit our booth. Like I said, I'll be at the booth after our PI planning breakout session. But yeah, so one more time, since I haven't said enough, the cbr.biz/Agile Hive demo for any of your demo needs, and then yeah, thanks to Trundle for hosting this event and giving us this opportunity. It's been fun so far.
I just made sure and posted that link again to our calendar. So if you're in for a personal chat anytime, you can just schedule yourself time from our calendars.
All right, I think that's it. Thank you guys for attending. It was wonderful.
Thank you from Germany.